Welcome back, and today we're talking about Tonikawa Over the Moon for You, episode 9. So like always, let's just jump into it. Episode 9 of Tonikawa Over the Moon for You, we see our main characters finally make it back to their apartment, but lo and behold, it's burnt down. I mean, it was foreshadowed. We know NASA talked about his apartment burning down the previous episode, so it was going to happen. I honestly did not think it was because, I mean, that would have just been like a huge coincidence, but it did happen, and we learned just how NASA essentially plans everything out because he had his insurance documents that he needs to make a claim in a lockbox. He had his most important documents and important stuff from the apartment locked in a lockbox in a safe area. So really everything that burned in the apartment, it wasn't that big of a deal, right? It wasn't important stuff. It was just clothes and furniture and stuff like that. Nobody was hurt. That's the important thing. But really, the important thing is how this episode kind of started, right? Because it starts off with Tsukasa kind of saying why she loves NASA, and that's always very important because honestly, I've always believed that there's like a motive behind Tsukasa going out and marrying NASA. I've always felt like it's either some type of disease and she needs like a transplant, like an organ transplant or something, because I just don't see why Tsukasa just decided to marry a complete stranger. I still think there's something in there that we don't know, and hopefully we get to find out what it is. But before we talk about the rest of this episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out, and I greatly appreciate it. I hope everybody's having a great holidays. This is definitely my favorite time of the year, but we're here for anime, so let's talk about it. Yeah, we see kind of Tsukasa say that she loves NASA for his personality, right? She loves everything about him, how nice he is, how he cares about the people around him, how he's a genuine nice person, right? Like he doesn't have any hidden motives about being nice to people, about treating people with respect. Heck, we see his apartment burnt down, right? And I know if my house were to burn down, I would not be as calm as NASA was, right? I have a lot of valuables, and while yes, we do have insurance for our house, it will still be like a sucky situation, right? Like we will have to go somewhere else to live for like a week or however long it would take to find a new place, and just going through that process will be very, very stressful for me and my family. So the fact that NASA was able to take it down calmly, he found a plant and he was happy that, you know, at least he had a plant. You know, if I was to find a plant, I wouldn't care. I would be like, no, my house is burnt down. So NASA and he definitely handled that situation a lot better than I would. And that's why one of the reasons why Tsukasa kind of loves him, right? And then when they went to the bathhouse and we see Kaname kind of tell them that they can spend, you know, however long they need to in their extra like house that they have back there. They have a huge property, the bathhouse, right? He accepted it right away, right? Like he accepted it right away. He wasn't trying to like deny it and then, you know, try to tiptoe around it, right? He accepted it right away because he needed help, and that's another reason why Tsukasa loves NASA, because, you know, he's such like a genuine person that he doesn't need to like tiptoe, right? Like somebody will be nice, like, no, you don't have to do that, when really they do, because they need help, right? NASA and Tsukasa right now, instead of going to live in a hotel where, you know, they're probably it's gonna be like inconvenient for a little bit. It would be better to stay with Kaname, where they kind of have like a little house, which seems to be about the same size as their apartment, and it will be a little nicer to live in for a while, right? It seems like they're only going to be there for about a week, so that's awesome. Now, we also got to see why why NASA loves Tsukasa, right? So that was also a very important aspect, to see that perspective from both characters. I think they're setting this up because potentially we might have a problem between these two characters in the next episode. Maybe it's been smooth sailing, right, since episode 1. I honestly cannot believe that they haven't had any single like conflict where they disagree with something and they kind of get angry at each other, right? Like right now it seems like they're like the perfect couple because there's no conflict whatsoever in this relationship. So maybe both of them kind of saying that they love each other, why they love each other in this episode is because there's going to be some type of conflict later on, and this kind of to tell the viewers that they do love each other, but there's going to be conflict later on. So hopefully does that happen. I feel like that will be a nice little twist for this anime, and I would like to see how they would handle that, right? Because again, this is a fairly new relationship. They're complete strangers, and heck, even in this episode, when they're still uncomfortable about speaking about their underwear, right? Like Tsukasa doesn't want Nasa to see her underwear and stuff like that, so she decided to do laundry. So that conversation, right? They're married. You would think at this point they will be comfortable with that kind of stuff. Hey, you would think if they're married, they've definitely gone, all the way, but they haven't yet, right? They've only done the kissing and that's it. So this episode is tackling that issue as well, because they went and bought clothes thanks to Kaname's advice, because again, we see that Nasa is really oblivious to this relationship thing, right? Like the house burned down, their apartment burned down, so Tsukasa's, like, all her clothes is essentially gone, right? Everything she has left is literally in a suitcase. So she definitely needs more underwear because she doesn't have any more, right? She probably has like a couple of pairs that she was washing and she didn't have one on. So she definitely needed more underwear. She definitely needed more clothes to look cute in, right? Like, I'm sure Nasa wants his wife to look cute because he is in love with her and he loves her appearance. So Kaname essentially had to like kind of nudge Nasa into buying more clothes. But we also have to talk about Aya, right? Because Aya, I love her character, and again, it seems like a good parallel to Nasa, right? She's completely the exact same person as Nasa. Like, she's oblivious to everything. Like, how do you not notice that Nasa has a ring on his finger, kind of to tell her that, he's married? What do you think about Tsukasa just showing up? Like, you think that's just a cool friend and they're living together? Like, come on now. She should have definitely gotten a clue. It should not have taken her mother saying, oh, you didn't know that Tsukasa and Nasa are married? Come on now, Aya. But it was a funny scene. I loved it. And we also got to see like how about Aya's mother, how her husband cheated on her and left for a younger girl. So Aya definitely needs to be more brave and kind of tell people how she feels, right? And she is going to work on that. She did say she was going to work on that, because maybe possibly she could have had a relationship with Nasa, and maybe Tsukasa would have never had the chance to be with Nasa, right? Like, you just imagine how much the story would have been if Nasa and Aya were in a relationship, because I don't think Nasa is the type of person that would kind of leave somebody for somebody else, right? Like, I don't think he's that type of person. Again, he's a very good person. So if he would have been in a relationship with Aya, I feel like this story would have never happened. But it's whatever, right? We're talking about hypotheticals at this point. He's not going to be with Aya ever. So Aya definitely needs to get more bravery and start telling people that she likes them. That way, this kind of situation doesn't happen again. But heck, even Nasa is feeling kind of guilty, right? Because he did not notice at all that Aya had feelings for him. But can you really blame Nasa? I mean, that dude is helpless at this point when it comes to relationship, right? Like, he's so oblivious. Everything is quite fun. And now the whole underwear scene where they went to buy clothes, that was awesome. I liked it. Nasa kind of freaking out because he looked at Tsukasa's behind, and she kind of felt the energies. She let go of his arm. That was funny. And he was kind of worried about going to jail for being in the underwear area. I don't know why you would go to jail for that. I'm guessing people would think he's a creep or something like that. I'm pretty sure he was like overreacting, right? Like, there's no way they would send somebody to jail for being in the underwear section. Like, what if you want to buy your wife a surprise and you're trying to get like a sexy underwear? I don't know. But I don't think he would have gone to jail. I think he was just overreacting. Again, with how oblivious Nasa is, he probably thinks he would go to jail. But that whole scene was awesome. And then on the way back, Nasa, he got some courage and he told Tsukasa that what if he wanted to see her in underwear, right? So Tsukasa, of course, she gets embarrassed. Again, they're still very young. They're still kind of strangers, right? They spend a lot of time together, but I think in the anime, it's only been like about maybe like a week or 2 weeks at most. I don't think it's been a full-blown month. So they're still kind of strangers. They're still learning about each other, and they're married. So there's kind of things that you would expect in a marriage couple to do, and maybe seeing each other in underwear and maybe something more, it will be normal, right? So I wonder if they're going to tackle this situation next episode. It might be funny. I'm sure it's gonna, the comedy will be there if they're trying to do the underwear stuff. But we'll see where it goes. Overall, it was a good episode. I liked it. But honestly, I kind of wish there will be some type of conflict in this anime, right? Like, I would love to see how Tsukasa and Nasa will handle some type of conflict where, maybe even divorce is talked about, right? Where maybe it's something that they both disagree on a huge level that they might start talking about divorce, but they find a way to overcome that difference and conflict resolution. We know NASA is very good at that with the whole Shitose situation. But honestly, I would like to see some conflict and see how they handle it, because it would definitely bring a twist to the anime, right? 9 episodes in, this is going for 12 episodes. We got 3 left. And so far it's been like the perfect marriage. There hasn't really been any negative stuff happen around them. No fights, no conflict whatsoever. So honestly, this will be good for like the next 2 episodes for them to have some type of conflict. And then by the last episode, boom, resolution. It will be a nice way to go. Overall, I like the episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And like always, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.